I'm Kendall Montgomery, and this is Ultimate Concealed Carry News. Each week, we assemble the top stories from network news, online news outlets, and videos relevant to you, bringing you your weekly gun news all in one place. On this week's show, 2 college students fend off an intruder with a legal gun and face potential expulsion for violating the school's gun policy. Pistol permits in Newtown, Connecticut soar in the months following the Sandy Hook shooting. A small Georgia town forms a posse to catch a suspected armed robber, and CNN host Anthony Bourdain and Don Lemmon defend gun rights. Our top story. 2 Gonzaga University students are on probation for the rest of their time at the Washington State School for using a gun to scare a man who came to their door demanding money and trying to force his way inside.
It was a Thursday night around 10:30 when a stranger walked up to 207 Cinto, knocked on apartment 5, and proceeded to ask Eric Fagan for $15.
And I was like, give you a can of food, a blanket, don't feel comfortable giving me money, I don't know who you are.
A senior at Gonzaga, Fagan didn't realize the man at the door, John Taylor, was a 6-time felon. However, Taylor did tell him he just got out of jail.
My gut instinct was telling me that I wasn't going to be able to get that door closed before he came through.
Fagan's roommate, Daniel McIntosh, was upstairs at the time.
He starts coming more in the doorway, and I yell for my roommate Dan, and at which point Dan comes downstairs and around the corner.
Dan responds and brings his pistol.
So I drew on Mr. Taylor, and immediately Mr. Taylor turned and fled.
Following the incident, the students called the police and campus security. But since having such a firearm on university-owned property violates Gonzaga policy, campus security later confiscated McIntosh's Glock and Fagan's shotgun, and the students have since been put on probation.
Even given the findings of today, I would not change any of my actions of that night. I stand by every action I took.
The students own their guns legally and have concealed weapons permits and are appealing the probation because they don't want the sanction on their school records. They have since gotten their guns back from campus security and were told they had to move the weapons off campus to a non-university residence, which would be in compliance with the weapons policy. The student's lawyer speaks to the university's policy on self-defense.
I think the moral here is, universities have to decide how much safety they want to provide their students, particularly in off-campus housing. Students have the right to defend themselves. Just because they enroll in a university doesn't mean they can't use force that they're entitled to.
So should American students who are legally licensed to carry be allowed to do so on campus for self-defense? Be a part of the debate. Post your thoughts on the matter or click here. It appears that following last December's Sandy Hook shooting, many residents of Newtown, Connecticut are taking responsibility for their own safety. According to a report by the Hartford Courant, pistol permits have skyrocketed in the Connecticut town since the shooting. Newtown residents applied for 183 permits from January through May of this year, a 110% increase from the same period last year. CNN's Poppy Harlow met with 2 of these Newtown residents.
Our rights are being slowly infringed upon, and that this whole idea of controlling guns has come to my back door. In other words, there could be a time when I may never be able to get a firearm.
You went out and you bought another gun after the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. Why?
That was 100% driven by the legislation that I was anticipating being passed. It's my responsibility to take care of and protect my family.
These surges further prove the recent Gallup poll's findings that the majority of Americans support handgun ownership and recognize the guns themselves are not the cause of these terrible tragedies. A little old-fashioned justice was dispensed last week in the small town of Rhine, Georgia, when a group of 20 concerned residents formed a posse to search for an armed robber who just held up a local convenience store. Rhine resident Ken Lowry was the first to happen upon the robbery scene.
The lady screamed at me and said, "I've been robbed, he's got a gun, and I've gave him all the money." People just kept coming around and they was mad. People in Rhine was mad. Here we had an armed robbery in the middle of the day at Aiden, and they wanted to form a posse.
The group of concerned citizens were able to track down the suspect and direct sheriff's deputies to the location, and he was arrested without incident.
Glad I stay in a town like this. Rhine is a good town.
A nice lady like that working at Aiden, trying to make a living, and some thug coming out trying to rob her. People in Rhine ain't gonna put up with that.
The residents of Rhine are proud of their town for coming together and hope this serves as a warning to outsiders who may be up to no good. The mainstream media's debates about gun rights almost always end up in a shout fest between token liberals and conservatives, and the network who seems to be leading this charge, especially around the AR-15, is almost always CNN. But that is refreshingly not the case this week. In a recent episode of CNN's Parts Unknown, host Anthony Bourdain had the opportunity to shoot an AR-15 rifle in the middle of New Mexico desert. Following the season finale, Bourdain joined CNN host Don Lemmon for a discussion on his penchant for guns and the upstanding people he met in Red State America.
Many of the people in Red State America, in gun country America, these are nice people.
Yeah.
They like guns. And in fact, I got to admit, I like guns. I like holding guns. I like shooting guns.
Oh, I have evolved on my stance on guns over the last year, and I think many people can. I don't want to be a sitting duck.
We actually share a lot more in common than we differ on.
It's not just a lobby either.
There's got to be some common ground
There'll be
here
regulation.
if we just stop talking about every gun owner like they're an extremist, a lunatic, necessarily right-wing. I don't think we're doing ourselves or anybody else any good.
Thank you, Anthony Bourdain, for providing a refreshingly honest look at the gun debate in this country. I'm Kendall Montgomery. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Stay connected. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.